Have you ever stopped to wonder who's really powering America's electric future? Picture this. While headlines shout about Tesla's next-gen batteries shaking up the market, a Chinese company you might never have heard of, CATL, could be holding more of the cards than anyone expected. All across the U.S., electric vehicles are rewriting what it means to own a car. Underneath the buzz about Elon Musk's next big launch or the latest EV tax credit, there's a battle raging among giants over the most critical piece of the puzzle: batteries. What's often left out of the conversation is that the key players aren't just in California or Detroit. They're also across the Pacific in the boardrooms of China's CATL, Korea's LG Energy Solution, and other foreign titans pulling the strings behind the scenes. Let's break it down. Tesla's long-promised 4680 battery cell was dismissed by some experts as overhyped, unmanufacturable at scale, even doomed to fail. In fact, CATL's own chairman was so certain of its flop that he bet against Elon Musk, reigniting a tech rivalry that ripples far beyond the industry press. But fast forward to now, Tesla has smashed production records, churning out over 100 million of these cells and putting them into everyday cars and trucks. The 4680 cell, with its larger size and increased energy density, delivers longer range at a lower cost, a leap that, for many, could finally close the price gap with gasoline vehicles. The real twist? Tesla didn't just prove the naysayers wrong. They doubled down, signing major tech licensing and equipment deals with, yes, CATL itself, to jumpstart U.S. production of advanced lithium iron phosphate batteries. Why does this matter for the average American? Because this cross-Pacific partnership is happening despite rising tariffs targeting Chinese technology, congressional blacklists, and a clear push by Washington to repatriate the battery supply chain for strategic and economic security. Ironically, policies meant to build a wall around American clean tech have created new loopholes and quietly driven innovation that might actually deepen ties with Chinese firms, even as the political rhetoric heats up. Globally, demand for batteries is exploding, jumping over 30% in China and 20% in the U.S. just in the past year. Battery prices, once seen as the biggest barrier to EV adoption, have nosedived to around $110 per kilowatt-hour and could hit $90 by next year. At this rate, owning a fully electric car could be as cheap or cheaper than owning a traditional gas-powered one sooner than anyone thought.
For automakers and their customers, this is a turning point that might redefine jobs, energy independence, and how the U.S. competes with China and Europe on a global stage. But there's more to this story than mere cost. Battery technology itself is splitting in different directions. Tesla is refining its 4680 cell, now in a new, cheaper LFP version that may reduce dependence on Chinese raw materials. Meanwhile, CATL ramps up its Shenzhen battery, promising a 320-mile range with a 5-minute charge, far ahead of what even Tesla's superchargers offer today. Korean firms like LG and Samsung are pouring investments into U.S. factories, eager to capture market share with American automakers. Yet 85% of global battery manufacturing still happens in China, and China controls the majority of the world's cell component supply. The stakes are massive. On one side, there's the U.S.'s race for clean technology jobs and industrial self-sufficiency. On the other, the harsh reality that American companies still need Chinese expertise and supply chains to scale up fast enough to meet growing demand. U.S. battery capacity has doubled recently, with hundreds of gigawatt-hours coming online, but costs remain higher at home than in Asia, even after subsidies, and sudden policy changes could delay new plants or upend business plans. If you drive a new Tesla, that Made in Texas sticker might mask a supply chain that zigzags through Shanghai, Korea, and Germany before ending up in your garage. So how does all this play out for you? Data shows that battery costs will influence not only what you pay at the dealership, but also your next utility bill, the future of U.S. manufacturing, and even national security. If China's grip on battery tech slips, America could seize a new industrial revolution. If tariffs backfire and costs rise, EV adoption could stall out. Meanwhile, the rivalry between CATL and Tesla sets a fierce pace of innovation, one that has already forced skeptics to rethink what's possible. In the end, what's at stake isn't just bragging rights for Elon Musk or Robin Zeng. It's who controls the next era of transportation, whose workers build the technology powering your car, and whether American ingenuity can keep pace with the relentless drive of global competitors. As billions are poured into research, factories, and international deals, the winner of this battery war could end up shaping not just the future of cars, but the wider economic and geopolitical balance for years to come.
So as you watch that next Tesla update or hear talk of new tariffs and technology bans, remember, the engine of change is powered not just by ambition, but by a hidden contest over chemistry, policy, and partnership. A contest with real impact on your wallet, your job, and America's place in the world. Does the U.S. have what it takes to win this race? Or is the biggest victory yet to come from overseas? Share your thoughts below. This story's next chapter is still being written.